Hello everyone and welcome back to the Chronicle, where I talk about my daily life, weekly goals, and the overarching plot of my life. Today has been a pretty weird day, which reminds me of that Invincible quote, I had a pretty interesting day. Cat, you come here, boy. I don't want to mess him up the paper again. Okay. You stay here, okay? Like I said, bit of a weird day, because, today I had to prepare for my colonoscopy tomorrow, which means I have to clear out my entire intestine, little DI tract type thing. You know what I'm saying? And there's a pretty easy way you can do that, which is just by taking a whole lot of laxatives all in one day. So I took 2 weeks worth of laxatives in about less than 6 hours. Um, Even a little more than that, even a little more than 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks and then some more. And you might be thinking, "Wow, Asher, isn't that a lot? Isn't that kind of crazy?" Yeah, but that is what they said. That is exactly what the doctor ordered. 2 weeks worth of laxatives in under 6 hours. Um, yeah, I did that, and I won't go into detail, but I feel like you can imagine, how that would go, and what that would look like or feel like. Um, yeah, that's about all I'll say there. Also, I couldn't eat solid food today. Now, it's weird how lucid I feel right now. I don't know if that's the right word. Um, because like for most of like the past several hours, I felt like high, kind of. Not necessarily in a good way, but not necessarily in a bad way either. I was prepared for the physical effects of not eating food for a whole day. The only thing I've had today is Gatorade. I've had 3 bottles of Gatorade. I've had plenty of water. And for dinner, off-brand Sprite. Um, yeah, that's what I'm allowed to eat today. It was not honestly not as bad as I thought it would. It's really crazy. I never felt hungry, not once today. I've said this before. Boy, you come here. Hunger is a specific feeling that I have not felt in 3 years because I'm 21 now. Last time was when I was 18. I was on a camping trip. I felt hungry. But yeah, so hunger is a specific feeling that I didn't feel today. I got serious cravings for anything. What's my? Oh, it's blue. Probably from all the Gatorade. Um, yeah, I got serious cravings just for food in general. Like I would look at food, like I would look at the chocolate on my desk and be like, "Oh man, that looks so good right now." And like I would look at like the bag of chips on top of the fridge, and I would imagine just like grabbing it and eating it. I'm like, "No, I can't do that." But we're just about at the end of the day, which means we're just about at the end of not eating. If I go to sleep, hopefully I sleep for a while. I'm just gonna try and sleep for as long as I can because I do not want to exist in this state anymore, if I'm being quite honest. Um, like I said, shout out to mom. Thank you, mom. Love you, mom. She's got me. I mean, she like no questions asked was like, yeah, I'll take you. I believe, yeah, she said there and back. I'm wondering how long the procedure will be. Um, I don't really know. Like, is she gonna stick around? That part we haven't quite, hammered out. I'm sure we'll figure it out later, tomorrow. But yeah, so she's gonna be here at 9. Hopefully I wake up, I don't know, at 9. I think the only thing I would need to do is like brush my teeth. I just want to put on my shoes, brush my teeth, and head out the door. I guess probably put on like deodorant too. Um, hey buddy, he's in the background there. Oh yeah, actually, speaking of the background, I've been wanting to change the eyes that are up there. Because I think that one has been up there for a week. So I can see the icon. That means it's pairing. And then I'm gonna go to the program list on my phone, and I was feeling like this one. Boop. There we go. Like that one. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Honestly, I'm excited. I don't really know why. I am excited. For the procedure tomorrow. I hope it goes well. I would assume it's going well. I'm imagining it's going well, and then we're gonna find out what the heck is up with me on the inside. Um, yeah, like I said, and hopefully we can then fix it from there. The doctor, or not, it was the GI specialist. She ordered like 5 different tests. I haven't quite. gotten any like emails or follow-ups or text reminders about those tests, like, when they are or where they are or how they are. Um, I got a text saying I had an appointment scheduled for like the GI specialist place, and I was like, "What is that for specific?" It didn't say. It just said you have an appointment on this day and time, and I was like, "Okay, sure, I guess." Um, I think the doctor said that she being the GI specialist, she was gonna follow up in a couple weeks after those tests and the colonoscopy are done. Um, so I guess I would assume that's what that was for, but I don't know when we're gonna do all those tests because the tests were through a company called LabCorp, which I've never been to before, and I'm like, is that in network? I don't know. Also the little guy is sitting on my lap right now purring, and I'm inverting his ears, because it's very fun and cool. Anyway, hey buddy, gonna okay, nope, not quite. Nope, he is playing with my hoodie strings. Also, yeah, I've got the hoodie on because I got cold. Um, yeah, I feel like it's kind of weird to wear a hoodie at this time of year. The weather has been like amazing. I mean, amazing recently. It was cool in the morning. It got hot during the day, but now it's cold again. Anyway, I believe that's everything for today. Yeah, like I said, I felt totally, I mean, just like insane for not eating food. Like I said, I felt high. I felt loopy. I felt weird. I didn't really do anything, if I'm being honest. I came home and I was drinking the poop your pants potion, which is just Gatorade mixed with laxatives, a whole lot of laxatives. I drank two of those, and that's kind of what I did. Yeah, I took also a couple tablets of like more laxative stuff. Um, but yeah, so that's what I did today. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow, Tuesday. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday, the day of the procedure, colonoscopy day. Also, wait, yeah, that was it. Um, so that was today. Kind of fun, kind of cool. Now, I didn't sleep a whole lot, because, after taking 2 weeks worth of laxatives in one night, it's hard to sleep whenever you wake up and, feel the urge to, like, go poop. Like very strongly. About I would say every hour until about 5:30 a.m. in the morning. At some point, I just crawled up on the bathroom floor, and then when I would feel the urge and wake up, I would then go right there. Not on the bathroom floor, on the toilet, of course. Um, but yeah, so that wasn't that. Honestly, that was worse than like in my head, I was like, oh, is this gonna be like super duper bad? And it was, but not how I thought it would be. Um, the first couple times it was fine, and then it kept happening, and then it like didn't stop happening when I was trying to sleep, and I was like, oh, okay, well, this is kind of a problem now. But then it stopped, like I said, at about 5:30 in the morning, and then I finally went to sleep, and then woke up at 8:45 to get ready for my mom to pick me up, and then we went there, and they performed the procedure. Procedure went well. Funny note, there was something wrong with my records, question mark. It was reported that I had like low blood iron or anemia or something like that, and the nurse goes, oh, low blood iron anemia, and I was like, no. And she's like, okay, that's weird. And then she asked the doctor, and the doctor was like, nope, we've only got one blood sample on record, and it looks fine. So I think that was added in error. Or I think that maybe what is it? The GI specialist, who I had a consultation with before this appointment or procedure, I think she suspected that or that it could be a thing, and I think she accidentally put that on my record. Because I know she did order a bunch of tests, I think, to figure out if that was actually true or not. Because she suspected something like that. I haven't gotten those tests. I haven't done those tests yet. I think I need to schedule them still. Anyway, yeah. So that was weird. And that'll pop up. Something similar will pop up later. Um, so yeah, it was fine. Nothing of note except for the anesthesia. So it wasn't like the mask, like I thought it would be, like in the movies, where they go psh, and then they count you down from 10, and then you're out, right? So it was in a little IV thing, right? Um, and I remember the anesthetician, yeah, the anesthetician, the person that gave me the anesthesia, she was like, you might need a little bit more than usual because you're so young. I was like, okay, cool. And so when I was in I don't know if the operating room is quite the right term, but the room where the procedure happened, because it was the waiting room, and then we moved into this one room that had a bunch of beds and people in them, and then that's when they hooked me up to like all the stuff, and then I got changed into the hospital gown. Um, and then I got wheeled off into another room where they actually did the procedure. And then in that room, They were like setting me up. They had all my, I was still hooked up. They said, okay, turn over on your side. We're gonna put this thing under you, okay? And then they put in a bite guard, which was like this kind of square of plastic that you would bite down on, and then it had this little thing to hold it around you. I would assume that was they would just put the camera right down there. I don't know. So I remember I was like fully, totally conscious. I was listening. I was like following along. It's okay, yeah, lift head up. Okay, yep. Okay, bite guard. Yeah, move over. Yep, turn over on your shoulder. Yep, yep, yep. And then boom, I was gone. I never heard anything about the anesthesia. There was no countdown. I was just having a dream. It was a very vivid dream and a very long dream. I can't remember it though. I just remember waking up from it and then boom, I was conscious and I was like, "Whoa, what's happening?" And my mom was next to me. I think that's the thing is because like whenever I came to immediately after the dream, I said, "Whoa, I had a dream," and she said, "Yeah, you told me." That would imply that that was the second time I told her that I had a dream. So I was like, "Wait, what just happened?" It was the craziest thing ever. Fully conscious, boom, having a dream, boom, I'm awake. Apparently, I have been awake. But like, even though I was awake, I wasn't like conscious, but I was because I was like talking, right? I don't know. Anyway, so for the recovery instructions, they said don't drive, don't operate heavy machinery, don't do one other thing, and then was it don't make critical decisions or sign any documents or like legal paper. And I was like that was really funny. Essentially, yeah. So don't yeah, sign legal stuff. I thought that was really funny because the anesthesia, of course. Yeah, so that's what happened with the anesthesia. After the procedure, I felt like really weird. I was still super like my body just like barely worked. I was like I could hardly. Well, I had to waddle. It wasn't like super pronounced, but I was waddling because walking was too hard and it was fairly slow. It was kind of funny. Um, also, so I had an upper endoscopy and I had a colonoscopy. The upper endoscopy is where they take the camera and they go down your throat, and then the colonoscopy is where they stick the camera up the other end of you. And so the let me see. I don't think colonoscopy formed easy. Yeah, so they what was weird, this is something that again I thought was weird. They performed the EGD, the upper endoscopy, because on the following indications. Okay, so they're saying this is why we did it. Nausea, that's fine. That's normal. I've been dealing with that. The second one being anorexia. I don't think I'm anorexic, but that's what the paper says. We performed your EGD today based on the following indications: nausea and anorexia. If I am anorexic, that's news to me. None of the doctors or nurses said anything about that. So again, I think that's probably just another mistake, like how they said I was anemic earlier in the day, and I'm pretty sure that's false as well. Um, but I don't know. I mean, they're the doctors, they're the professionals, right? So we're gonna get results back in a couple weeks. They took some samples while they were in there, so they're gonna do those, and then also, like I said, it's going to take those labs. The GI consultant, she ordered like 5 labs, and apparently I need to schedule them myself. So I'm gonna try and do them in network because she was like, go to LabCorp. She was like LabCorp or this place, and I was like, how about this place? And she's like, okay, this place doesn't have it. How about LabCorp? I was like, okay, sure, LabCorp. So I have the orders for them, but I need to actually schedule them. Anyway, so let's start with the upper endoscopy. What they found was, uh, it says LA grade A, uh, esophagitis was found 45 centimeters from the incisors. Essentially, this means that my throat, my esophagus, is inflamed or irritated. Could just be like a common infection. Some causes are from like was it heartburn, acid reflux. Pretty sure I don't have that. I have never felt heartburn or the burning in your chest. I've never felt that. But that question keeps coming up. It's a very common one, like in having a stomach problem. They're like, oh, is it reflux? I'm like, no. But apparently apparently I have, yeah, I don't know if it's pronounced esophagitis or esophagitis. Essentially means my throat is inflamed. Um, striped mildly, I don't know what this word is. It looks like erythematous mucosa was found in the gastric antrum. This essentially just means that it was more inflamed kind of tissue. Was in the gastric antrum. I want to say that is the stomach, either the stomach or something connecting to the stomach, the gastric antrum. I could Google it. All right, I'm gonna Google it right now and hope my computer doesn't totally crash. Gastric antrum. The lower funnel-shaped region of the stomach that lies between the main body and the pylorus. Let's get a picture here. Gastric antrum. Gastric antrum. Okay, yeah. So it's It's where your stomach starts getting smaller and where it connects to your intestines. So there was some inflammation there, which is weird. So that's in my throat and then also in kind of like the lower part of my stomach where it goes towards my intestines. Um, yeah, so they found that essentially mildly inflamed tissue there. They took biopsies, which means they just took little bitty samples. And then also the duodenum was normal. The duodenum is the first part of your small intestines. Random biopsies were obtained in the second portion of the duodenum with cold forceps for histology. And then, oh yeah, duodenum. I don't know why. I was thinking about that. Back in high school when I learned that word, I was pronouncing it as duodenum. And then my teacher was like, duodenum. And I was like, that is way funnier and way better. Um, yeah, so that's all they found from the upper endoscopy. Pretty cool. In the colonoscopy, they found. Okay, yeah. So this is going to sound really gross and weird. Internal hemorrhoids were found during endoscopy. The hemorrhoids were small and grade 1. This means internal hemorrhoids that do not prolapse, which is good. Uh, and then the rest of it looked normal. Multiple lymphoid follicles were present, normal for age. And then my mom talked to the doctor, and the doctor was like, yep, this is totally normal for his age. And apparently that's not bad. So it sounds really bad and gross. Internal grade 1 hemorrhoids sounds really bad, sounds really gross. Apparently it's totally normal. Funny how the human body works like that. Um, and then was it the doctor had this phrase that my mom tried remembering, and it was the good news is I think he said the good news is there's nothing bad. The bad news is there's nothing in there, which essentially means we don't have a diagnosis yet. The esophagitis, I'm pretty sure that sounds the most natural way to me. I don't think it's esophagitis. That sounds weird, but it could be right. The esophagitis, I'm pretty sure I googled it, and it could probably go away on its own. It could just be like an infection, like when I had colitis, which is an infection in your colon. It went away on its own, kind of. I think after like some antibiotics. So I took some vitamin C and a multivitamin, which I know is like it feels like using a squirt gun on a wildfire. Essentially meaning it won't do much, but it's better than nothing. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work out. I would assume that'll go away. Maybe I just need to stop smoking cigarettes. Not that I do that regularly, but I did have one 2 days ago. So maybe that contributed to it. But yeah, so like I said, nothing concrete. We have not found the root of the issue, but we found a couple things and we took samples and they're going to the lab and they'll be back in a couple weeks. I've got to get those labs scheduled. There's already a follow-up appointment scheduled for July. Was it July or was it the 25th? I believe it was like the 7th of July. Yeah. So that's like one, two, three. That's like four. Oh, no. Okay, 3 weeks out. Okay, so yeah. So next week, and then next week is that follow-up appointment. And then of course we should have all the labs done by then, and we'll have all the tests by then. And then maybe the the GI specialist will be able to maybe give me a diagnosis or something like that. Um, they also took pictures. They're right there behind me. I am tempted to show the camera. Um, because I think I think it's really cool. It is kind of gross because it is literally the inside of a human body. And also, I'm wondering if that's actually allowed. Like, is that terms of service? Like, can I like legally can I put that in the video? Um, because I was like, because I don't know. To me, it's really cool, but you guys might be like, Asher, do not show that to the camera. I do not want to see inside you. Um, who knows? But I have the physical pictures if you want to see them. Um, yeah. So that's how it went. And after that, I came home, or no, I didn't come home. Mom took me to Jimmy John's because she was like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "I want Subway. I just want actually forget about Subway. I just want sub sandwiches in general because you guys know I love sub sandwiches." Um, and there was a Jimmy John's nearby. Now the nurses and the doctors were like, "You can have whatever you want after this, whatever food you want." And I was like, "Oh, cool." I doubted that, but I was excited and I believed it. And then the patient discharge instructions, which means this is what you do when you go home, it said your first meal should be small and bland. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird because that's not what the doctors and nurses told me. And also, like, I don't necessarily think that the food, the Jimmy John's, I don't think it upset my stomach. I think my stomach was upset because there was a camera stuck in there. And also for the day before, I had literally no solid food. So yeah, I did have that. It tasted amazing. But it did kind of upset my stomach for like maybe an hour or two. But then again, it's like I don't think it's the food that caused my stomach to be upset. I think my stomach was upset because it was empty and had a camera inside it. Um, you know. Yeah, so I had that, and then I kind of recovered at mom's. I just kind of watched YouTube videos for like a few hours. Came home about 5. Funny, today and yesterday they kind of felt like days off, even though they weren't. And I did go to work yesterday. But they kind of felt like days off from like responsibility, because like whenever you are instructed to stay near the toilet, there's not much you can really do. And then whenever you feel really bad and you're recovering from anesthesia, then obviously you can't do much either. Also, I was supposed to get Prilosec, which is essentially an antacid, I think. I looked it up, and it is a protein pump inhibitor. And all that means is that it stops your stomach from producing as much acid. This makes sense because, like I said, my entire GI tract has been cleared out. So, it might, if I just try to go back to eating regularly, this is my line of thinking. I don't know if this is true, but this is how it makes sense in my head. Because I just cleared out my whole system, if I try to go back to eating regular food, regular amounts of food with regular amounts of stomach acid, that could be too much. Um, so I was instructed to take Prilosec, which, like I said, makes your stomach produce less acid for, I want to say 3 weeks, I think is what it said. So I was gonna go to Walgreens today, and they advertised that they're open later. And I think also on Google Maps says they're open till 11. And then I walked there at like 9, and they were closed. And on the front door, it said store hours closed at 9. And I was like, oh shoot. So instead, I walked to QT, which was just a little bit further, and I got a brisk iced tea and a bacon. No, it was a sausage, egg, and cheese grilled cheese, which was absolutely delicious because I had deals for them. Also played some Helldivers. That got a huge new update today. Well, not huge, but it's a pretty big update today, and made the game a whole lot better and a whole lot more fun. Um, and I believe that was everything for today. I think so. It's 10:43. I guess, oh my gosh. It's so weird to like be totally thrown off of balance and thrown out of whack and then think, "Oh, I have to go back to being a normal person tomorrow." You know what I'm saying? Like that's why like sometimes the transition from the weekend from like Sunday to Monday is so jarring because you go from like partying and doing whatever the heck you want to now you have to be a factory worker and it's like, "Oh man, what's wrong with my car?" Sorry, this made me think of that. Oh yeah, and I have that what is it? Car. I'm taking my car into the shop tomorrow. We're gonna get that thing diagnosed. I hope like I said, it's been running fine since February, which is when I got in the accident. So I would assume nothing's wrong. I'm kind of just concerned. So it's possible that they take it in and they're like, it looks great, and then I just get it back. Um, but yeah, got that tomorrow. Um, I believe that is everything. I've got a short week at work this week because of Juneteenth on Friday. That's pretty cool. And I believe that's everything for today, which means I should cut off the video. I should practice my instruments, but it's 10:43. Oh, actually, so I guess that means I can sleep in later because I would need to drive there probably at like 8:30, depending on how far it is. Um, Ignore the Target gift card. Um, yeah, so that's where we're at with that. The stomach problem. So weird, man. I remember it's so weird, like whenever everyone is like asking me, all the like, doctor people and the nurses and the specialists, I can tell that they're all trying to figure I can tell that they're thinking and I can tell they're trying to figure out what it is. But I give them my symptoms and it just seems like no one can figure it out. And I'm like, dang. So I've explained it to like a lot of people at this point, and no one's ever like, it's probably this. I think the closest thing would be way back the first time that I ever went to the doctor for it, the first time that I got prescribed Pepsid, I think that was like 18 when that happened, 18 or 19. She was like, it sounds like it could be a imbalance in stomach acid. So take Pepsid for 2 weeks, and then see how that goes. And I've told this story before. It started getting better and better and better, and then it was good, and then it started getting worse and worse and worse. Um, I probably should have like called my doctor and said, "Hey, I feel my stomach feels good and I feel like I don't need Pepsid and I've been on it for like 5 days now. Can I like either not take it a day or stop taking it?" But instead, I kept taking it daily for the next 2 weeks until I ran out. And then, like I said, it was better and better. It was good, and then it was worse. So it is very possible that Pepsid was the answer this whole time. I know I've tried it at least once again in the past, and I know it's chronicled. Um, Although I can't remember exactly how that went. Like, did I commit for 2 little days, or did I never reach that period where it was good? I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe this Prilosec, yeah, maybe this Prilosec stuff, could be exactly what I need. Like maybe by chance it's like, oh, it was too much stomach acid, and this is a different kind of antacid, and it works better, and whatever. Because my mom said that the doctor said that I won't see differences for a couple weeks, but I'm wondering, like, they prescribed this after the operation. Something in my head told me they prescribed this to everyone after the operation. Like, it's a standard that you do after you do this operation. Um, but I guess it's possible that I'm totally wrong. Because I'm not entirely sure when or like where I'm getting that information. I think it's because she said her friend did a colonoscopy and then he was also prescribed the same thing. I think. Which made me think, oh, this is a standard for this procedure. But who knows? Anyway, I know this is long, but big news. So good news. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all. It's tomorrow, Wednesday? Yeah. See you all tomorrow, Wednesday. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to no, not Tuesday. Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. I'm gonna try and keep this quick because it's 12:03 a.m. and I should have gone to bed like an hour ago. But I kind of just didn't. It feels so weird to just go back to daily life after being like almost incapacitated the last 2 days, because the whole colonoscopy thing. Anyway, today was fine. I got some Prilosec before I went into work today, or before I dropped off my car today. That was cool. The Prilosec seemed to work okay. My stomach has felt mostly fine since the procedure. Only some slight nausea. I think I got that just from eating too much, or I think it was too much and too fast at lunch today. Other than that, it's been mostly okay. Um, yeah, so dropped off my car at work this morning. Funny story, when I got there, they were like, hey, you got an appointment? I was like, yeah. They're like, it's not here. And they were like, you missed it. I was like, I missed it? Yeah, you missed it Friday, June, whatever, at this PM. And I was like, what? So I was confused. They were confused. I remember hearing over the phone, the guy was like, we got an appointment Friday. And I was like, I remember saying, no, Friday's too soon. And I scheduled it for Wednesday, 9 a.m. So it should have been today. So apparently it wasn't. He's like, but we've got openings all day. We can fit you in. I was like, sure. So I told them to like take a look at it. Essentially, I got a tire alignment and an oil change. I still had 700 miles left on my oil change. But for some reason, they said I was overdue. And I was like, well, I don't know how long it takes to drive 700 miles. But like, if the car's already there, I might as well get an oil change. So I got an oil change and an alignment, and the guy was like, um, the alignment's pretty much perfect. Only a slight tweaking needed. And I was like, okay, cool. And I brought it in because one of the tires was squeaking, um, which Ink said was bad, and she apparently knows cars. But honestly, I'm not super keen on trusting her because check this out. The guy said my tire alignment was almost perfect. Over like a year ago, whenever me and Ink went on a trip to Branson, she was like, "Oh wow, you really need an alignment. Your alignment's way off." Because she would like straighten out the wheel and then let go, and then it would turn. But it was like super subtle. But she was like, "Oh, it's way off." It was not way off. It was fine. I think it was literally just the wind. Um, but yeah, and then she was like, "Oh, it's probably, did they say it was something something? It probably shouldn't be squeaking." And I was like, "Yeah, well, I don't hear it squeaking anymore." So yeah, I think they also fixed the door and the window was squeaking too. I would assume they fixed that because I told them about it over the phone, and it was probably really easy. Um, but yeah, so now my car is a little bit better. Also they tweaked the brakes. So I've said before that I thought that the brakes on my car were really weak because you could push them in like really far. Like the brake pedal would go in like really far, where it usually doesn't go in very far in most cars. Um, so I was like, oh yeah, my brakes are weak because you can push it in like really far. So it doesn't do that anymore. Now you can only push it in like a little bit, and I was confused because I went to push it in like all the way and it didn't go very far, and I was like, that's weird. So I don't know what they did
to the brakes. Maybe that happened during the alignment or something. But now the brake pedal goes like less than halfway, like how it used to be. Now, the brakes are still just as strong. They still work. Like maybe, I guess maybe technically better. Um, but yeah, so that's like that now. So it wasn't actually super hard to get used to. I just since I have to be more careful with it. So the brakes seem more sensitive now. Um, yeah, I don't know what they did or what was causing that before, but I guess it's good now. Um, yeah, so I dropped my car off. I went to work, came back, ate food, recorded a couple of gaming videos, played some Helldivers. Um, I think that's everything. Like I said, I kind of like, ugh, it felt weird to like be a normal person again today. Um, but yeah, I haven't been super productive this week, because of the, prepping for the procedure and then doing the procedure. And now I'm like, well, how do I be a normal person again? Um, but yeah. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow, Wednesday. Or no, tomorrow, Thursday. Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Chronicle. And by that I mean Thursday. My microphone is being weird. That's why I have my headphones on. I don't know what was up. I launched OBS, and then for some reason the mic slider was just all the way down. I was like, okay, that's weird. So I hope I don't sound any different. I don't know if, uh, yeah, I don't know if I'll sound different from yesterday. I didn't change the settings at all, which was weird, because when I launched OBS, they were just different. Not sure how that happened, but hopefully nothing is wrong. I feel like the usual, like I'm looking at it on the in the recording software, it looks like it's about the same. Um, yeah. Anyway, welcome to Thursday. Thursday, quite a fun day today. So I woke up fine. Went to work just fine. I toasted my sandwich. My sandwich for this week was roast beef, smoked cheddar cheese, mayonnaise, and spicy mustard. And I toasted it in the air, like little convection oven that we have at work, and it was absolutely amazing. The thing is that it's such a thick sandwich, such a big sandwich that it didn't get toasted all the way. So maybe next time I will flip it open and then put it in there. And I think that'll be pretty good. I mean, it was so good, dude. Like, you have no idea. Usually I struggle to eat the sandwich a little bit because, like I said, it's cold. It's good, but it's pretty dense. You know what I'm saying? Lots of lunch meat on there. But when it was hotter, it tasted better and it was easier to eat. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So I think I'll do that more next week. Anyway, work was fine. I actually left early for once. I can't even remember the last time I took an early day. At least that is by choice. I took an early day Monday because that was when I started to have to like, clear out my bowels. Um, which was obviously super fun. Um, but yeah, I can't remember the last time I took an early day, like on purpose, like for fun. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm trying right now. Let me try and remember. Early day. I can't remember. Have I ever taken an early day? I must have. I must have. But I took an early day today. Played some Helldivers, then I took a shower in between work and lessons, and I think I did one more thing. I think I ate food. Yeah. And then I went to lessons. Lessons were good. After lessons, me, Rowdy and Pouty, got Cafe V. It's a Vietnamese cafe. It's got pho. It was quite good actually. I really, really liked it. I've heard them talk about the place over the years and how much they love it. Um, but I never gotten invited until today. Actually, me and Pouty were gonna have schedule time, and then she was like, "Hey, do you want to come with Cafe V or come to Cafe V with me and Rowdy?" And I was like, "Sure." Um, so we got pho, and I also got like this boba tea that was super super good. It was honeydew melon flavor, very very good. Paired amazingly with the pho. I was a little surprised how well those flavors complemented each other. But yeah, so that was super good. Afterwards, we went into the Asian market, and I got coincidentally, it's right on me. This is drinkable grape jelly. I got it because in the K-pop Demon Hunters movie, fairly popular movie. I don't know if you've seen it. They drink grape juice. They get scammed into buying grape juice because they get tricked, and it's supposed to be like, oh, this is a potion that'll make you better, and it's just grape juice. So I was like, oh, I wonder if that drinkable grape jelly is good. And it's about what you expect. It's pretty much just grape jelly in a little pouch. Very sweet, very strong grape flavor. Um, wasn't bad. Me, Rowdy, and Pouty, we all had one. Yeah, so me, Rowdy, and Pouty went to Cafe V, then we went to the Asian grocery store, and then we were gonna walk to the park, and then we got like halfway there, and they're like, man, this park's really far. Let's go back to our cars. And then we got in our cars and we were trying to get to the park, except there was no parking lot. It would just stop us on the middle of the road on GPS, which is not good. So we ended up just going back to their house, and then we had the grape jelly, and then me and Pouty played Kirby, and had a quirk, like the drink, and now I'm here, and that's my day. Like I said, great day. It's 12:27 a.m. at the moment. I obviously, I had a drink, so I had to stay a little bit later. Um, but yeah, no work tomorrow because of the holiday. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet. We got a 3-day weekend because Juneteenth is tomorrow. I honestly do not know what that is or means, but I know it's tomorrow, and we get a paid day off for it. So woohoo! What will I be doing? I don't know. I actually made plans, but I'm not saying them out loud. I'll let you figure out why. Anyway, that's everything today, I think. Yeah, yeah, no gaming video. But I am technically ahead because I recorded Revita yesterday. And Revita is usually Thursday's game, right? Monday is Ravens Watch, Tuesday is Absalom, Wednesday is RoboQuest, Thursday is Revita, and then Friday is Dredge, and then on the weekend it's all of them. Now that's kind of how it was until I realized, oh, if I miss a day, then episodes get out of order. So maybe I'll have like 10 Ravens Watch episodes, only one Absalom episode. So I was like, okay, then we'll cycle through them, right? So if I keep up with them, they'll come out on those days. If I don't, then it'll be off. Then also like depending on whether I do all of them on the weekend or some of them or most of them or one of them, that could also throw it off. I try to keep it. I like keeping it, on each day of the week, just for consistency and good healthy routine. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow, Friday. Hello everyone, and welcome to. I almost said welcome to Dredge. Welcome to the Chronicle. Today's Friday, if you can believe it. Um, I say that because I've said this before. If I have like too much fun, or if I feel like too relaxed or something, my brain will be like, "Oh, it must be the weekend." It's not quite the weekend yet, technically. Well, Friday night's the weekend. It's currently midnight, so I guess it's technically Saturday now. Anyway, today's Friday, Juneteenth, day off, start of the 3-day weekend. I woke up at. I think I went to bed. I went to bed by like scrolling until like 1 a.m. and then I kind of just passed out. Um, Not the best way to fall asleep, but it worked. So I slept for about 9 hours and woke up at 10. Um, and then after that, I believe I played some Helldivers and I made bacon, egg, and cheese burritos in quotes. I was so hungry and I ended up kind of just essentially making bacon, egg, and cheese tacos, except they were not super full. If I were to have actually tried rolling them into burritos, they would have been full. But like, um, it's like, it's not perfect. Whenever I try and make bacon, egg, and cheese burritos, it's not quite the way I want it. So I've done this a couple times. Um, One of the hardest things is, I've talked about this before, with cooking in general, is whenever you're cooking multiple things that are hot, it's hard to, get them finished, like take them off the, pan or the oven at the same time. I was pretty close actually this time. I think the eggs came out and I put the cheese on them, and then like I think a minute later, I got the bacon out. So all the ingredients were pretty warm by the time they were done. And what I normally would do is I would mix the bacon, egg, and cheese all together into one mixture, and then put that mixture into 2 tortillas, and then make 2 burritos. Well, I can't get the tortillas to be very, like pliable. I don't know how my dad does it. He makes his look so good and so pretty every time. I thought you're just supposed to heat them up, but I've tried that and it's not the same. And they don't. I like fold it up and it's like they're still kind of stiff and like angular. And I'm like, maybe I'm just not.
cooking it long enough, or maybe I'm cooking it for too long. Because I feel like what'll happen is I'll literally just put it on the burner. I have an electric stove, so I'll just put it right on the burner, and I'll kind of start flipping it around and like moving it around until it, to heat it up. And I'll notice the consistency will change. It won't go from like one. It won't go from like here to there. It'll go from like here to there and then back to here. Right? It doesn't just cook. I don't know. Um, but I can't quite get the tortillas consistent, kind of texture. So what I do is I just heated up the tortillas, and then sort of I kind of just closed them like this, and then I like ate it kind of like a breakfast taco. And it was good. I didn't even break up the bacon into pieces, because I was eating them in that longer form. I just laid the strips right in there, and it was good, man. It was good. The bacon might have been a little bit past its expiration date. It smelled a little bit off, but I cooked it and ate it, and it tasted great. So I mean, I'm still alive, no problems, no bowel problems or anything. So I think it's good enough. Also, this has been annoying me forever. I think it's like a zit, but I picked at it once a while ago, and it still hasn't gone away. So yeah, that's really annoying. Anyway, yeah, so I had bacon, egg, and cheese burritos. I also had a Bang energy drink, cotton candy flavored. It was delicious. 300 milligrams caffeine in one of those, if you can believe it. I don't think I've ever had a drink with one drink with that much caffeine in it, and I thought I would be like totally wired, but I wasn't. Because remember last time I got the Rockstar, and I was sipping on the Rockstar, and I was like, boom, like that caffeine hit me really hard. But the caffeine from the Bang didn't hit me very hard. Now I was purposely sipping on it that way it wouldn't hit me super hard. But I was sipping and sipping, and it wasn't like, totally bulldozing me. So that's cool. I was sipping on that while playing Peak, with parkour. Me, Rowdy, and parkour were gonna get online and play Peak today, but unfortunately Rowdy woke up with a migraine, so he didn't get on today. But me and parkour played, and it was a lot of fun. After that, I did laundry at my dad's. You can see the laundry basket behind me. I also got a piano practice in while I was there. I do need to put that laundry away. And then I watched Smile 2 while the laundry is being done. Oh boy, I need to stop watching horror movies, man, or at least alone. It was just like the first movie. The plot is there's this kind of demon or spirit that possesses someone, and then what it does is it feeds off of the possessed person and makes them go crazy. Right, that's when it's feeding on them, and then once it's done feeding on them, it makes them kill themselves in front of someone else, and then it passes on to the witness. Right, that's someone else, and then it does that over and over again. And like the plot was like the exact, I mean, it was literally the exact same movie plot wise. It's like protagonist gets it, unwillingly, because that's how it works, goes crazy, meets someone who tries to help because they've also seen the curse affect someone else in their life, and then ultimately it doesn't work out, and the cycle continues. And also you see the giant monster. It's like a demon looking thing. It's all fleshy and gross, and it's got like a bunch of teeth and huge eyes. And there's a big gore scene at the end. Yeah, like I said, it was the same movie. I saw the first one like last year with a couple of friends. Um, so I was like, okay, I might as well watch the second one. It was just like the first one. Like I said, it was the same movie plot wise. Nothing really changed. That was cool, I guess. I literally couldn't find anything else to watch. I was like, man, there's nothing on Prime Video right now. So I was like, sure, Smile 2. I also had a Aldi pizza while I was there. I ate like a quarter of it. Um, it was interesting. My dad offered. He was like, "Hey, there's pizza in the fridge if you want to make it." And I was like, "Oh, sure." But it was weird because he's never offered me food before. I usually ask for food. But maybe he just saw that I was looking for food and was like, "Oh, hey, there's food." So yeah, that was good. Thank you, Dad. Now I'm here. I recorded an episode of Dredge 2. I finished the base game. So it probably definitely will be the first series on the channel to end. But I did buy all of the DLC for the game, so I can extend that series a little bit and have a lot more fun. Because like I said, Dredge is so much fun. That was the first series where I started just. I think I made like 3 episodes consecutively. Like I'm like totally out of order. Like with the rest of the series that I had going, and then I had to catch up on the other ones because it was so much fun. I was like, man, I gotta do more of this. So now I'm done with the base game. I got the DLC. That'll be a lot of fun. I don't know how much game it's adding, but I got actually coincidentally they were all on sale. So I think one of them was $2.50. One of them was like $3. I think the other one was like $5. So I got a whole lot more game. Hopefully, looking forward to that. And I think that's everything today. I checked the mail to see if the bills for my colonoscopy came in. They have not. I got a bunch of mail from uh, I think I want to say it's a previous resident, but there is a lot of it. So I'm wondering if maybe someone accidentally put like because it's a big complex. So like maybe someone it was just a typo, a simple mistake. So maybe someone accidentally put their address as this apartment instead of the one they have. So I'm like, maybe they're here in the complex and it was a mistake, or maybe it's just an old resident who never updated their stuff. So I've got a whole stack of mail, and I remember with my last complex, I was like, hey, what do I do with all this mail that's not mine? And then the lady at the front office was like, oh, you can put RTS on it, which means return to sender, and then the people at, like essentially whoever sent the mail will know that that person doesn't live there anymore and that it wasn't received. And also like the mailman will know and stuff. So, but the thing is I went to the kind of central mailbox area thing, and I couldn't find any place for outgoing mail. And I was like, maybe it's in the front office, but that seems weird. So I'll probably go there tomorrow to the front office, just be like, hey, where's the outgoing mail? Um, cause usually, um, with those big, sort of mass bulk mailboxes they have, it's the very top left slot is always outgoing mail. And it looked like there was a slot there, but the slot had been covered with some numbers. That way you knew which complex it was for. But I was like, that's where the outgoing mail is supposed to go, I thought. So I'll have to figure that out tomorrow. A couple other things I need to get done this week is I need to call Spiracare to get those labs scheduled. I've got reminders on my phone. And I've got to, actually, I think that's it. I've got to get those labs scheduled. Um, I've got to do the hero scholarship. I should have been doing guitar catch up. Gosh dang. Uh, I did the car thing actually. I did the car appointment. That one went well. We did that one. Scholarship. Yeah, I got to work on that one. Anyway, I believe that's everything today. Yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow, Saturday. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Chronicle. Ignore my hair, it probably looks really weird. Um, yeah, this acne, I think that's finally going away. Obviously it's still there, but I think it is getting better as opposed to the last couple days where it was getting worse. What is even today? Saturday? Yeah. So today was a bit unusual, a bit weird. I hesitate to use the word weird because I feel like I've been saying that a lot recently. I think really what I mean by that is something unexpected happened that kind of changed the course of my day and how I thought it might go. Like I am noticing right above me, my little eyes on the wall, they are changing through their presets, and that always happens whenever the power goes out. Whenever the power goes out and comes back on, it starts doing that, which is just cycling through all the settings that are on there. So yeah, there's a little spoiler for today. I woke up and I think I got about like 9 hours of sleep. I think I went to bed at like 1 a.m. again. Whoopsies! It is currently 11:49 p.m. So we are getting there, back to normal sleep schedule land. Um, yeah, I've kind of been messing up my sleep schedule. On this 3-day weekend, as fun as it is. Today, I woke up. What did I have for breakfast? I made a breakfast sandwich, quite good. And then in the meantime, like while I was waiting for my food to digest, because I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat, gonna do something. In the meantime, go to the gym, come back, shower, go from there, right? So I did the breakfast sandwich, delicious. I think I played some Helldivers, and then I went to my dad's to practice piano, just because I really like practicing on the acoustic piano. Feels much better, sounds much nicer. Well, actually, it's out of tune, but it feels much better than the electric. So I practiced piano. And then I went to the gym, and I did my usual workout. All good there. When I came back, I had a little hydration drink, and then I kind of scrolled on my phone. And while that was happening, Ink goes, Asher, did the power just go out? And I look over at my alarm clock and it's off. And I'm like, oh, yeah. So at about 4 p.m., the power just turned off. I don't know why, I don't know how. We heard nothing from the office. And it was not in just my apartment, it was in the entire apartment building. Possibly the entire complex. I don't know, but I know it was definitely for our whole building. Um, and when I went on to get to the highway, there were two intersections right off the highway.
that had no lights. The lights were off. They weren't flashing red. They were just off. And I was like, okay. And I also saw one maintenance truck kind of on the side of the road. So it's like maybe one maintenance guy just did a really big oopsie and he accidentally cut off, um, an entire complex or maybe just an entire grid. Like I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how big the outage was, but it was our entire building, and those two intersections could be no idea how big. But yeah, so the power went out, and I called up like just about every single one of my friends except one. And I was like, "Hey, are you free?" And Rowdy and Pouty didn't answer. Parkour is sick, unfortunately. Bones was at work, and then she had to go get groceries after that. Surfer Girl didn't answer. Of course, Bicycle is still away in college. And I think that's everyone. The only one oh no, yeah, Noir. She was busy as well. The only one I didn't call was Computer Science, and nothing against him. It's just that I have this thing. I don't know if this is normal, if this is just me. But after not seeing a friend or friends for a really long time, I will then get kind of really nervous and like anxious about seeing them again. So I didn't call him, but I called everyone else. Also, one thing is I don't really know what we would have done because we usually play games online. The only in real life stuff we've done is like Gaga Ball, rock climbing. And I'm like that's kind of like hard to schedule on such short notice. I even called my younger sister. I was like, "Hey, do you want to see a movie?" And then she's actually on opioids. Don't worry, it's because she got her wisdom teeth removed, so she needs some serious painkiller. Because there's giant blood clots in her mouth, and also she just had her teeth pulled out of her skull after being dug out of her gums. So I'm sure that hurts a lot. And that's why she's on opioids. But yeah, so she was kind of like she sounded a little bit loopy when she was on the phone. She was like, "Oh, I'm on oxyhydrocodone." I'm like, "Oh, you're on opioids. You probably can't drive." We were gonna see Disclosure Day, but the nearest the soonest showing was in 2 minutes when we were on the phone, and I was like, okay, wait, if we leave right now, we can make it before previews start. And then she's like, okay, yeah, I'm also on opioids, and I was like, maybe don't drive if you're on opioids. Um, and then we're like, okay, well, there's like a 9:30 showing, we can do that maybe. And then she was like, sure. And then I was like, by the way, the movie's 2.5 hours, so it'll be done by midnight. And then she was like, maybe not, because she's also been messing up her sleep schedule over the weekend. Um, so yeah, the whole thing was went to work. No, I didn't go to work. Today's the weekend. I woke up, breakfast sandwich, Helldivers, piano, gym, come back, power's off. I don't know what to do. I go to Target, I get some dry shampoo and some body wash. I got dry shampoo because, having long hair looks better and cooler and more beautiful than short hair. However, it is really annoying to maintain. And also, like I said, because it's hard to maintain, I don't usually wash it as often because I think that's what you're supposed to do when you have long hair. I don't really know why that is. I just do that because that's what everyone else does. Everyone else, whenever they have long hair, they don't wash it as often as when it's short. So it's like, okay, once every 5 days, sure. Once a week, sure. But the thing about that is that it gets greasy. It gets really greasy. Like I've looked through like, day 1 versus 5 of like a weekly report and I'm like, wow, my hair just looks so greasy. And I hate that. I don't like how greasy hair looks on myself and honestly on others either. Um, and I was like, wait a minute, I think this is a problem we've already solved. Dry shampoo gets the grease out of your hair. And I bought some. I asked Pouty, I was like, you ever use dry shampoo? And she's like, yeah, it works great. Buy this brand. I was like, okay. So I bought that brand. And now I have dry shampoo. So now, whenever my hair gets greasy between washes, I can make it look not greasy and beautiful. It looks okay right now. I didn't put any product in, I just combed it straight back. I am also super tempted to cut it. I want to cut my hair. Because as I'm certain that this side, I think, or wait, the camera might be flipped, so I think it's this side. No, this is one of the sides. Actually goes too far down, which makes it look really bad. And I was like, okay, I need to cut that. But like cutting my hair is like I'm not very good at it, and it's kind of hard and annoying. And if you mess it up, it looks really bad, and then you get really sad, and you try really hard, and then you feel really sad after trying really hard, and then you feel really bad. So that's why I don't cut my hair, uh, but I want to. Um, yeah, and I got dry shampoo, so hopefully it'll look not super disgusting after a couple days. And then after that, that was when I came back, and then I called my little sister about the movie, and then I went to the liquor store. I tried finding the second variety pack of minus 196 in the exact same place that I found it last time, and they still didn't have it. I was like, gosh darn it. So I got a different vodka seltzer called Neutral. It's spelled lowercase n, U with the umlaut, which is the two little dots over it, and then TRL, Neutral. I don't know why. I was thinking about telling this story on the Chronicle. Again, when I was younger, I was getting ads for vodka seltzer. I don't know why I got so many ads for alcohol when I was younger. Because I got one for Mike's Hard, I got one for minus 186. I got lots for like Coors Banquet. You know what I'm saying? And then also like yeah, Neutral. And then it was this woman with a funny European accent that I can't quite place. Maybe I don't know. I'm sure if you listen to it, I don't remember what her voice sounds like. I haven't seen the ad in forever. But she's like, it's neutral. It's a great, delicious vodka seltzer with hardly any ingredients in it, and that's good. And I was like, okay, cool. So I bought a variety pack. I'll try that. Who knows when? I think Parkour said he wanted to have a drink, so maybe I'll be like, hey, you want to try this drink with me? Um, yeah. Gosh darn it, there's something at my on my tricep right here that's really annoying me. A little bit of dead skin. Okay, whatever. Ah, so I got neutral because they didn't have the second variety pack of minus 186. And then I came back here and showered because I wanted to shower like right when I got back. But then I kind of doom scrolled for a little bit and then the power went off. And I was like, shoot, I could still technically shower, but I would be in the dark. Also, there would be no, like, the fan wouldn't be on. And I don't want to, like, damage the ceiling with, like, water damage. Even though, I'll leave that part out. But yeah, so then I showered and I have been eating food. I've got my drinkable grape jelly here, which is, I don't know, for some reason, some part of my brain is like, drink it right now. It's almost empty. Hold on. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah. It's not even that good, but like my brain is just like, drink it, drink the jelly. Yes. Um. So yeah, I took a shower and then I did a lot of doom scrolling today. Oopsies. I know I shouldn't. That's kind of bad for me. But I have trouble justifying, taking the break to watch an episode of anime, even though that is definitely better than doom scrolling. That's kind of just what I'm doing. I think I did that for like an hour before I pressed record. Like I said, not good. Oh, also, I did do something today. Hero scholarship. I applied for it. That's like a big deal to me. Because that's actually one step closer to getting into college, which will like reroute the course of my whole life. Let me tell you right now, if college doesn't work out, I'm just gonna enjoy my life as a factory worker. Um, I was thinking about the overarching plot of my life a little bit today. I was like, what do I really want in life? And I was like, well, I just want like, I want I want to not worry about money. And with my current job, it's like one check, your first check goes to rent and everything, and then your second check is mostly free. And it's like that's not bad. I'm not struggling to afford rent. I'm not struggling to afford anything, actually, which is good. Um, yeah, I'm never like I said, I paid for medical expense, the colonoscopy earlier this week, and I'm fully prepared to pay even another $1,000 for it. I dropped 200 on my car the other day, earlier this week. I did that car goal. Woohoo! That one's completed. Um, and I didn't bat an eye. Now some things it's like, yeah, you gotta pay it. It's like if it's something that has to be paid, I don't care how expensive it is. And the car is kind of like that, and the colonoscopy is kind of like that. It's like some things you just gotta pay. So I'm not gonna feel bad whenever I drop, a whole band on a colonoscopy, because it's probably gonna help the long-term health of literally my entire life. So yeah. But yeah, so it's like I think there was this phrase I made when I was young, which is I only crave the necessities or I only crave what is necessary. And that's kind of I think that's why I have so much money is because I don't have a lot of desire for things that aren't necessary. Like my twin size bed. I don't need a bed bigger than that. It fits me technically. Sorry, it effectively fits me. It technically doesn't because I'm technically an inch taller than it. Um, my feet dangle off the end a little bit. That's okay. Um, but yeah, and it's got the mattress topper on it. And like when I was younger, the reason why I never told my dad, I know I've told this story before, That mattress behind me was so uncomfortable that I had nightmares on it as a kid. So what I would do is I would just sleep on the couch. And then whenever Dad was like, "Hey, buddy, why don't you sleep in your bed?" I was like, "Oh, it's uncomfortable and it gives me nightmares." He was like, "Why didn't you say something?" And I was like, "I thought it was expensive because like back in 2000 whenever, my family didn't want to buy a Wii, and I think because it was expensive, or maybe just because my mom didn't want the tech in the house. Um, but I was like, if we can't afford a Wii, and that's only $100, and mattresses are usually over $100, then we probably can't afford another mattress for me. So I'll just sleep on the couch." Um, and then they did something which I didn't even think was possible, which was they got a mattress topper, which I had no idea about as a kid. And it's like it works great. It's a top. It's like essentially a thick pad of foam that goes right on top of your mattress, and it makes it comfortable to sleep on. Who would have thought? Um, but yeah, that's what I'm rocking with, and I got my awesome bed frame. I don't know if you guys have seen my sort of simple wooden bed frame on the Chronicle. I don't think you have. No, no, you have because my bed was in frame in the previous apartment. But yeah, it was a simplistic wooden frame, and I was like, why do I need anything that's not that? And then I heard that not having a headboard was a red flag, and I heard that by multiple women. I was like, crap. If I want to be a desirable subject for women, then I need to have a headboard, and that's how I ended up getting this thing. And also, I think it's really cool. It's got like you can see it's got like ports here for like plugins and like a charger. It's also got this like boom one shelf, boom another shelf, and also it does not. Actually, it technically does have a footboard. Currently, it's covered by the blanket. It's just a very short footboard, which I like because that makes changing the sheets super super easy. All I do is kind of like drag it out a bit, shoom shoom, and then I'm done. All that to say, I only crave what is necessary, and that is definitely one of the things that contributes to why I have so much money. Um, a couple of friends have called me generous before because whenever someone goes out for an alcohol run, I give like a minimum of $20. But that's just because alcohol is expensive, not because I'm generous. It's just because alcohol is expensive, right? You can't. If I gave you 10, what are you gonna get with $10? You can't get nothing with $10 in the liquor store. You gotta give 20. So I give 20. I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you have to give 20, but I'm saying that's why I give 20. Anyway, I got way off track. But yeah. So if college falls through and I don't get in this year, then I'm just gonna call it there. I'm and you know what I'm gonna do? If I don't get into college, I'm going to enjoy my life. I saw a reel, an Instagram reel, and it was like it was talking about how people are always like, oh, I need a purpose, blah 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 blah, and I was like, oh yeah, that's me. I'm the one that's like who that reel is for and is about. Um, but yeah, it's like it's there's really no problem. I know that I can enjoy my life, the simple life of a factory worker, the simple humble life of a factory worker, in the coffee factory. I know that I can enjoy it. I know that I have. I know that I can, and I know that if this college thing falls through, then I will. I'll just live my life. I'll keep doing my goals. I'll keep learning. I'll keep having fun. I'll keep hanging out with friends. Forming and making good relationships. And I'll enjoy my life. And then I'll go to the 4th of July to see family, and they'll be like, "What do you do?" And I'll say, "I'm a factory worker." Do you like it? Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I don't like waking up in the morning, but the job's really not that bad, and the company is fairly generous as well. In my humble opinion, I'm sure there's better companies to work for, but I'm sure there's way, way worse companies to work for too. One thing I thought about is like this job. I think this job is a career because like if you work in like a fast food place, I don't think you get insurance for working at a fast food place. I could be wrong. I've never worked full time in a fast food place, but it's like benefits. Benefits are a big deal when people are choosing jobs and careers. Um, and this one has decent benefits. So yeah, that's the overarching plot of my life. Like I said, I did apply for that hero scholarship, so now we are one step closer to getting into college for being a high school teacher, which is what I will go for. Um, if I get in there, or maybe if I can get general studies. I don't know. No, I'd probably go for high school teacher. That makes more sense, I think. Um, because if I just went for general studies and got that degree, I'd end up right back here as a factory worker with general studies bachelor's degree, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's like, what'd you even go there for? General studies? Why? What are you gonna do with that? Nothing. Work in the factory? Yeah. Anyway, this has gone on for like way too long, but I feel like it's relevant to my life and how it is going and how it went and how it will go. Um, but yeah, that's everything. I should have worked on my guitar catch up more this week. Whoopsies. But I have done other goals. Like I said, the guitar goal completed. The therapy goal in progress. We got an appointment next Tuesday. The car goal completed. I just said that one. The hero scholarship in progress. I've applied. I do probably need to submit more documents because it kept saying documentation required for like several things. But I would assume that they'll actually bother with that once my application is either approved or denied because I could not find a single place to actually upload the documents. So I'm like, okay, this is probably later in the process. Um, but yeah, I believe that's everything. I kind of really want to try those vodka seltzers. They look pretty good. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, the ad made them seem really good. Is this the right lighting? Yeah, this is warm lighting. Okay. Um, but yeah, that's everything for today. Um, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the final report Sunday. Hello everyone, and welcome to Sunday. Final day of the report. Pew pew. Man, what a day. It was, I really didn't do that much. Kind of felt like it though. What did I do today? Woke up at 9:30 and then I got ready for church. That's why I'm wearing such a nice shirt. Because for Father's Day, my dad was like, I want everyone to go to church. So we went to church. So I got my nice clothes on and then I drove to dad's house to carpool there. And then me, my younger brother, and stepmom and dad went to church. This new church that my dad really likes. The sermon, or really the service in general, was super freaking long, dude. You have no idea. It was from like 10:30 to 12:30. And I'm like, what the heck? That's like 2 whole hours. I feel like usually it's like 1 hour. Anyway, so after that, we were all really hungry, and it's not even that late. It's only 10:29. I'm actually pretty on time right now. Anyway, um, what was I saying? Anyway, so we were all really hungry, and Dad was like, "Let's get KFC." It's like, okay, so we get KFC. That's good. Um, okay, so one little thing. We got KFC. We get it back to Dad's house, and I'm so hungry that I forget that I need to do something before eating, and I just start eating, and I start eating, and I'm like, crap, I forgot to take my Prilosec, and that was the antacid that I was prescribed after the colonoscopy, which I think is standard practice and not specific to me, but I only have like one piece of evidence to support that, which I talked about earlier, I think. Um, Anyway, so the Prilosec, you're supposed to take it before eating. It doesn't say how long before eating. It just says before eating. My mom said that you're supposed to do like 30 to 40 minutes, but like this whole time I've been just waiting like 10 minutes, like at work, during the 10 a.m. break when I eat my first food of the day, which is just snacks. I pop the Prilosec, I swallow the pill, and then I wait like 10 minutes and I start eating. No problems at all. I did have a problem yesterday. I forgot to take my Prilosec, and then I had food. And then when I was at the gym, I had some serious discomfort kind of in my abdomen. I was like, uh-oh, I wonder if this is related to the forgetting to take the Prilosec thing. So I took it later in the day. And then today, like I said, I started eating, and then I forgot to take the Prilosec. I was like, crap, let me just take it right now. Let me just take it right now. I had like a few bites of food. I'll take the Prilosec right now because I think, like I said yesterday, serious discomfort in my abdomen. And then I forgot to take it, so I was like, whatever, let's just hope it still works. I had some discomfort while eating after I took the Prilosec, only a little bit, and it wasn't for very long. But I did have a little bit, and then it was mostly fine after that. One thing I have noticed on the Prilosec is I'm eating, I feel like, more than usual, or my stomach is kind of just like accepting and wanting food more than usual, which is good. Um, Man, I'm jumping ahead in the story to something I wanted to say, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, so we had KFC. It was good. I practiced piano while I was there. I also there's this frame. There's this empty picture frame on the piano at Dad's house. It's an 8x10, pretty nice frame. And for like years, it's been empty, just with a placeholder picture in it. And I was like, what if I put something in there? Um, and I noticed one day, or not one day, it was when I went to the Walgreens, I think earlier this week. I noticed that Walgreens, and I think other pharmacies as well, they always have this like 1 hour photo advertised, or like photos. You can print photos. And also pharmacies are weird as an establishment. Like what? Like they sell medicine and also like candy and everything else, and also they do pictures, and also like back in the day they would like render your film for you. Kind of weird, but kind of cool, I guess. Anyway, so I was like, I've never used Walgreens or any of those pharmacies for photography purposes. So what if I print off a picture and I put it in that picture frame? And then I did. It was yesterday. I printed off the photo, and then I picked it up later. It's just an 8x10 of one of my senior photos where I look really handsome and, and pretty and beautiful. Um, and I was like, what if I actually just snuck this into the picture frame? So while I was at, I picked up the photo yesterday, and then today while I was at Dad's, whenever no one was looking, I just not let me say not very stealthily. It took several minutes to actually get the picture into the frame because I had to like I had to pick it up, turn it around, undo all the little things, take the back off there, take the little piece of foam out of there, take the placeholder photo out of there, and then actually the whole glass front of it is a piece that comes out as well. It's not glued in there. That comes out. It's like, oh crap. Okay, so I put that back in there, put my photo in there just in case. I put the placeholder photo back in there behind the one of me. Then I put the foam piece back in there, and then I put the back on, and then I gotta screw in the little thingy majiggies to get it to stay there, and then I put it back on the piano. And it took them, I want to say, several hours to notice. Let me pull up the text. Yeah, so they noticed at 7. Whoops. Yeah, they noticed at 7:23. So that was about 5 hours later. So for 5 hours, there was a photo of me on the piano. Here, I'm gonna zoom in on the photo they sent me. Here, it's this photo. One of my senior photos. I feel like I look super chopped. Um, Trust me, it looks better in person. Um, but yeah, that was one of my senior photos. It looks really good. So I put that in the picture frame, and then 5 hours later, they're like, "Hey," and I was like, "Yeah." I'm pretty sure they like it. They sent a photo of themselves in front of it smiling, so I was like, "Okay, they must like it." Um, yeah, and then I did that, and then I came back, and then what did I do once I got back? I did some gaming videos. I did Raven's Watch and Absalom. Pretty good, pretty good. And then I know I got groceries, and I played some Helldivers. I've been thinking about my art project that's on the floor that I never finished. Um, yeah, I really should have done that this weekend. I had time. Yeah, I don't know. I also got into a playtest for a game that is not out yet. It's called, I think it's called Tyr. It's spelled just Tyr. It's about like sci-fi tanks shooting each other, so it seemed cool. Um, Anyway, yeah, I really did do a lot after that. I'm trying to remember. Yawning. Um, Came back, played games, practiced both instruments today. Um, yeah, got groceries. I've got a meal plan. I meal planned again. Not super duper proud of it. But here's what it is. Don't bother reading it because I'll read it to you, and also I doubt you can read my handwriting. So lunch is we got a sandwich on Monday, sandwich. Tuesday, tuna. Wednesday, CC&C, which is cottage cheese and chips. Thursday, sandwich. Friday, cottage cheese and chips again. Then for lunch on Saturday and Sunday, we just got PB and J's. Yeah. And then for breakfast on the weekend, I have BE and CB, which is bacon, egg, and cheese burritos. And then I remember the other day I saw a YouTube short, which was making English muffins. I was like, oh shoot, bacon, egg, and cheese English muffins. Now in the video, the guy had those little circular pieces of metal that you can crack an egg into, and that makes a nice little like egg shape. I really wish I had those. I want those really badly. I don't have any. I don't know where to get them. I could order them online for sure. I know my dad has them. I wonder if he would let me have like one or two of them. Um, Anyway, yeah, so I'll be making English muffins for breakfast this weekend. Looking forward to that. I think just bacon, egg, and cheese. I got more bacon, got more eggs. Still got plenty of cheese, I think. And then for dinner, we got smoothie, spaghetti, eggs and ramen, smoothie, spaghetti, eggs and ramen, and then spaghetti again. The reason spaghetti appears 3 times is because whenever I buy ground beef, I buy the biggest package I can, and then that makes 3 servings. And also, 1 serving is actually usually too much. I will usually make 1 serving, which is absolutely gigantic, eat half of it, then put half of it in a Tupperware, and that's a meal for later. So this, like, technically the way this works is, what I used to do is, hold on, I dropped something. Okay. What I used to do is I would make dinner, and then the rest of dinner would be lunch for tomorrow. So this isn't a super strict meal plan, but it's better than nothing. And then smoothie. I put that on there again because I low-key wasted like half a gallon of milk because I just didn't eat the smoothies like I was supposed to. I also bought more double stuffed Oreos because I'm going to try again to attempt the overnight oats recipe. I made decent progress on that, never quite nailed it down, so I'm gonna try and nail it down now because I got actually I guess I still have the quick cook oats and the rolled oats. I just need to get the ratios right on them. Yeah, and then eggs and ramen appears on there a couple times. I only have 2 packs. The thing about eggs and ramen is it's not a full meal. Absolutely delicious, but it's really only like half a meal. So I was like, maybe I can just have 2 ramen packs instead of one. Because I don't think I want to eat. I don't know. Because there's a great combo with the eggs and the ramen. I was gonna say maybe I could just double it. 2 packs of ramen, 4 eggs total. But like that's when it's kind of gets to like, that's just kind of like too much of one thing. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, so that's what we got for the meal plans for this week. I'm trying to think of anything else I bought at the grocery store today. No, I bought like cookies for work lunches just because those are good. Um, yeah, got groceries, came back, put the groceries away. I tried a neutral tonight. It is a vodka seltzer with real juice in it. I can't find the ingredients on the can, but I bought them in a variety pack, so they're probably on the box. It is gluten free, which is pretty cool, 4.5%. I had that while practicing electric guitar, because as you guys know, I hate practicing electric guitar. Not really, it's just not fun and I don't want to. But I did do it. So now we're technically, believe it or not, on track for 4 practices on both instruments this week. Will it happen? Probably not. Um, oh wow, we've already been going for 10 minutes. Um, but we are on track for it, so that's cool. Yeah, like I said, I got those gaming videos up now, and that's about everything I did today. Played Helldivers. Helldivers was fun. Um, yeah, I kind of wanted to hang out with a friend, but I was like, I don't know who's available. I know Parkour is sick, and then Rowdy and Pouty are probably busy. Thing about like being an adult is that like friends aren't usually available on short notice. You know what I'm saying? Some are, some aren't. Actually, no, no. I think currently none of mine are, if I'm being quite honest. Which is a little bit unfortunate because like when the weather's beautiful on a Sunday and I'm like, man, I want to hang out with a friend. They're all busy. I assume they're all busy. I haven't asked, but I mean, like yesterday was a great example when I called up literally every single one of them except one, and was like, "Hey," and they were all like, "Busy, busy, busy." Didn't answer, didn't answer, didn't answer. Busy, you know, sick. One of them was sick. That's okay. I don't hold it against them. It just kind of sucks. Um, I had something I wanted to say and then I forgot. Oh yeah, one thing I did do today was I walked to QT. It's nice. The weather was nice. So I was like, I'm gonna walk to QT and I'm gonna get a nice little treat. I got 2 taquitos and a big Q. Quite good. I had the beef and cheese taquitos, not as good as the steak and cheese taquitos, and I didn't think they would be as good, but I had to try them. They were not as good. So now I know. I also actually I was gonna get a couple hot dogs because I did kind of want like a whole meal. But the hot dogs looked so. I mean, they looked like dark brown and wrinkly, and I was like, oh my god, those must be ancient hot dogs on that roller griller right now. Anyway, that was about everything today. I don't think I forgot anything. I did have the journal. So the thing about the journal, I will probably stop journaling about daily life and then maybe just journal about something or some vague abstract concept or idea that I thought about that day. Also, I'm looking at my acne. Good lord, that is atrocious. Anyway, so I'll probably stop doing just daily journals because really this is the daily journal, the Chronicle. So like I don't know if I have. I think I have one entry in here. But we have Wednesday. We have Wednesday. That's it. Yep. Yeah. Today I got my car tuned up, made some gaming episodes, and that's about all. And then the quote is clam chowder because I had New England clam chowder canned soup. I didn't think it would be very good. It wasn't very good. I ate it because my mom gave it to me like months ago, and of course it's canned soup, so it keeps forever. And I was like, let me try it. It smelled fishy, tasted fishy. Not a bad thing. It's just I didn't think it was good. Also, I don't think Ink is here right now, but a little update on the situation with her. Um, on Wednesday, it's here in the journal, which is what I'm talking about it. On Wednesday, she just started being like normal again. She just started like being nice, and I don't want to say nice because like she's just being normal. Like now she's doing normal things like saying hi to me and asking for a ride to work, and just like being like nothing's wrong. I mean, like, I guess nothing's technically wrong. Like I said, I just accepted her as a bad person, and now all of her bad actions don't upset me, because it's like, oh, that's what she does. She's a bad person. Like, I know that sounds bad, but like, genuinely, that's what has gotten me through this. Is like, oh, she's a bad person. She does bad things. No, I'm not upset whenever she does bad things. But yeah, so on Wednesday, she just started being nice to me. I'm like, okay, so obviously we're still not friends. I'm not gonna ask her to hang out or anything. She doesn't ask me to hang out. Um, but yeah, she just started being nice to me on Wednesday again. I was like, okay, cool. Like, I ain't got a problem with it. It's just weird. I'm just wondering why the sudden change of heart. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, that's where we're at with that. I had one more thing I wanted to say about that. Um, yeah, so I guess we're like I said, like we're not friends. I don't consider us friends. I'm not gonna hang out with her. But yeah, she's being nice and normal. Don't know why. Not a problem. Still confusing though.
Anyway, also I had a couple things that I wanted to talk about. Money for strangers is the note I have in here. One time when I was on my way out from the dispensary, this guy was like, "Hey, you got 50 cents for a?" I think he said like a Swisher or like a roll or something. I was like, "Nah, but I got $1." He was like, "Oh man, you got any like something whatever on you?" He said some brand of like I think rolling paper for like blunts or joints or something. I was like, "Nah, do you still want the dollar?" He was like, "Yeah," and then I gave him $1. He's like, "All right, God bless you, man, bless up." I'm like, "All right, cool, thank you." Um, and then so that was the first time I gave money to a stranger. Second time, I pulled in the parking. This was earlier this week. I pulled in the parking lot at Aldi, and this woman comes up to me, and she looks kind of old, not super old, but like fairly old. Um, I don't think she was homeless because homeless people usually have raggedy clothes. So her clothes seem to be perfectly normal looking. She comes up to me the moment I step out of my car. And she's like, and she tells me her whole story about how she lives in Kansas City and Wyandotte, and she has no gas, and she has 2 kids, and she doesn't have any money for like a gas tank or like she wanted a thing to fill with gas, and also she needed gas to get home, and blah 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 blah. Right? She just bombards me with that, and coincidentally, I have cash in my wallet. I can't remember why. I've got $30 in there. She's like, can I just get like 14? She's like, please, can I just get like $14 for gas? I'm like, sure, I guess. So I open up my wallet. She sees the 20 and the 10. Then she's like, oh my gosh, can I also get like $8 more for a? She wanted like a gasoline, thing, like a canister, not a canister. You know those things where it's like you can hold gas in it, a gas can. She wanted like then once she saw the 10 and the 20, she was like, oh, can I have like 8 more for one of those? And I was like, sure, I guess. So I just gave her 30. Did I totally get swindled out of $30? Probably. Was it actually a person who was in need of the money? I'm skeptic and I doubt it. I don't know for sure. I wish I could know for sure. It was very possible that she was just a homeless person who wanted to buy crack. But I guess we'll never know. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm not bothered by it. Um, anyway, and then also a mail side quest. So I checked the mail earlier in the week for the bills from the GI people, GI specialists, and didn't find the bills. I found a lot of mail for a previous resident, and I think I talked about this literally yesterday. I got a lot of mail from the previous resident, and I wrote on all the pieces of mail, return to sender, doesn't live here, and then I needed to send it out. And then, of course, there was no outgoing mailbox. So I go into the office the other day. I say, "Hey, do you guys have an outgoing mailbox?" She's like, "Yeah, we should have one out in the mail center." So I take one of the office people. We walk to the mail. I think it's called like the mail center or whatever, postal center, and she can't find it either. There is no outgoing mailbox, which is really weird. If I'm being quite honest. She's like, "Huh, that's weird." I'm like, "Yeah." And then she's like, "Well, if you go, maybe like go to the Price Chopper across the street, drive around in the parking lot, see if they've got one of those blue mail bins that you can like put your mail in, and then it gets picked up." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I've seen those before." So what is it? I start with the Walmart because she mentioned the Price Chopper and the Walmart. So I'm like, all right, I'll just start with the Walmart. So I go into the Walmart parking lot and I see one. I see one of those blue bins that you can put mail into. So I just take the whole stack. This is a pretty thick stack of mail, and I slip it in there. Boom! Mail side quest completed. It only took like a day or two. Um, but I did it. And then also photobomb. Already talked about that. That was the one where I sneakily snuck that photo in there. Of course, it was not sneakily. It was not sneaky, and it was not. It was not snuck. I just put it in there, and no one noticed, which was the goal. Um, so yeah, that's the journal. Like I said, I think I'll stop doing just daily stuff and start doing, because what was it like? It's like, what's the point of having this whenever I have this? You know what I'm saying? And I've talked about how sometimes this gets things that this doesn't get, and vice versa. But most of my life gets on here. I don't really need this. So that's cool. I think the Sharpie is already on my bed so I can mark the goals. But that's the journal. Let's talk about the goals because we're on Sunday now. The therapy goal in progress. I'm thinking, this is the plan in my head. Next Tuesday, I got an appointment with the person who can like either treat or diagnose or whatever mental illnesses. I know over the phone they said she can do the common ones: anxiety, depression, ADHD. Like, okay, cool. So hopefully I can get tested for those. Maybe also autism as well, just because. Um, yeah, so I've got an appointment with the doctor Tuesday for those things. I'm going to talk about those things. We're going to see where we get with those. And then after I get diagnosed, I think then we'll start therapy. Maybe, I don't know. I don't really want to, if I'm being quite honest. I just would like to try it. And Pouty keeps telling me that I should. Every time I talk about how whatever, or saying how my life's going. Anyway, so the therapy goal is in progress. The car goal, that one's completed. Car got tuned up. Pretty cool. Scholarship, that one's in progress as well. I got an email saying, hey, you applied for the scholarship. Now you can submit your documentation that's required. But probably got to get that from my mom, if I'm being honest. Because I don't have that. Like some of the documentation is like verifying. It's stuff that she has, not stuff that I have. Because the scholarship is like through her like military benefits. So I'll need documents from her. Scholarship, that's in progress. The car goal is done. Therapy. Dailies. I think I might just stop the dailies. I feel like they're not really working. I do have all these oils that I've been smelling for a while, and my sense of smell is still, I would guess, at like a quarter or a third, probably a quarter of a regular person's, my smell and taste. Still works, just not very well. And I think I might just stop them because currently it's smell, taste, and honey. I take a bite of an apple, smell the oils, and eat a tablespoon of honey. That way, I can hopefully cure my apple allergy. Well, one time I tried taking a couple small bites of apple, smaller than usual, right? Like I said, sometimes I can do like 2 bites of an apple, right? And I'll be chilling. But I took 2 small bites one day and I got really nauseous. I just sat on the bathroom floor and was like, don't throw up, don't throw up, don't throw up, don't throw up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, fortunately, throw up. But I was like, wow, 2 bites, and I was just like nauseous sitting on the bathroom floor. So that's not going to go a whole lot better. Of course, it could get better if I do try it actually daily. Like I said, if I really commit to these, then I could like get there. But it's kind of just annoying, and I feel like it's not working. So I think I'll just stop. So I won't be buying any more apples. I still have the honey. I just don't have anything to do with it. I still have the oils, so it's like I could smell them if I wanted. But yeah, like I said, because when I googled it, it was like spend 2 minutes wafting each oil, and I'm like, that's gonna take like forever. I would just do like one quick sniff of each, is what I would do. Um, but yeah, like I said, maybe that's why it's not working. But like also, I don't know, man. It's just annoying and I don't want to. And I feel like it's not benefiting me currently. Yes, I could be trying harder, but I don't want to. Because I'm not getting results. So I think, yeah, I think I'll cancel the dailies. Maybe I'll start that cursive handwriting book so I could try writing in cursive. Probably not, though. Because that sounds kind of annoying. And I don't want to. But I have the book, so I might as well. Anyway, all of the goals are on pause except for guitar catch up. If I'm being honest, I didn't work on that this week because I was busy with other goals and getting a colonoscopy. Getting a camera shoved up my butt. Um, that's what I was busy with this week. So all of them are on pause. Guitar catch up is in progress technically, and then that's how that goes. I really should have put the fro. Remember when I said I could freeze goals? That's an old concept. Essentially means it means putting it on pause indefinitely. Really should have done that with the other goals that are all up there currently, because they just have like a billion pause symbols on them. Um, yeah, yeah, but that's all the goals I think. Um, and I believe that's everything for today. Now 10:51. I'm so tired. I think it was because I had that drink, which is good. It was supposed to make me tired. Because I feel like sometimes I stay up too late on Sunday. Oh hey, here's the Sharpie. I was like, because I didn't see it behind me. I was like, where is it? Now it's right there. And this is also there. Whoa. Hooray.
I believe that's everything. I think that's everything. Woohoo! Now I go to bed. Okay. Um. Thank you all for watching. Oh wait, I think I gotta do a sign off. What's to be my sign off? Don't give money to homeless people. Like I said, I don't know if she was homeless. Um. Hmm. 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 Oh, one other thing. Actually, sorry, this is super important. Um, I got some, not all, I think, but some results from my when they took the biopsies, the samples from inside my body. I got a couple results. One of them was pretty uneventful. One of them was like, okay, it shows signs of mild chronic gastritis, and I was like, what is that? That was the diagnosis in the diagnosis section. I googled it, and it was like, chronic, or I think it was just like gastritis. Yeah, chronic gastritis. It is essentially, I think it's like the tissue in the lower portion of your stomach is inflamed. Common causes. One of them was excessive drinking. Remember that's one time I did that when I was 17. That might have done it. That might have done it. But anyway, so it said that was one of the causes was excessive drinking, and gastritis is inflamed tissue in the lower part of your stomach. Um, and that's what the diagnosis was. It said mild chronic gastritis. Common symptoms: nausea after eating, lack of appetite. Common treatments: antacids. You know what I've been on recently that's been making my stomach feel great? Antacids. So, I don't know if this is a concrete diagnosis, but chronic gastritis is what I might have. It said online that the results have not actually been like essentially my doctor has not seen them because we're still on the weekend. It was Tuesday when it's done, so I'd assume they got processed, over the weekend, uploaded online. And like I said, there was a note on that thing that says your doctor has not seen these yet. It's just they just got uploaded, so fast. The doctor's out of office because they're not working, so I saw them online. So that could be what's wrong with me. Chronic gastritis, mild chronic gastritis. Lack of because that's what I have. Nausea after eating, lack of appetite. You know what's been helping? Antacids. You know what helps gastritis? Antacids. Common symptoms of gastritis: lack of appetite, nausea after eating. Like I said, I don't know if this is. I don't know if we're done now. I don't know if we solved it. Um, but I'd say that's pretty spot on for what's going on. Um, yeah, so big news there. Yeah, I mean, what a great way to end this episode. Man, I'm trying to think of a sign off, like a witty sign off, because I really liked the one last time where it was like always trust your gut. Um, Thank you all for watching, and I can't think of anything. um, um, okay, yeah, I got one. Thank you all for watching. My name is Asher. That was the Chronicle. And if your power goes out, call every single one of your friends. Every single one. Don't leave one out. Call all of them. Bye.